You know, whoever says gear isn't important, probably already has all the gear. That, or they have stupid charisma.
Show me love. You have got charisma.
For the rest of us uncharismatics, in this video, I want to talk about 5 things that will noticeably improve the quality of your videos. And 4 of these things will also help to improve your photos. So, diving right in with the Triple Lindy. So, in no specific order, these are the 5 things I use to improve my videos and photos too. 1 out of 5. The sound. In my opinion, there's 2 crucial components to video that really cannot be ignored. I'm talking about microphones. And I'm not just talking about any microphone, but the right microphone for the job. Now, I can't sit here and tell you which microphone that is because realistically, I don't know your style, workflow, or niche. But what I can say is that if your audience can't hear you, they're likely to click off your video faster than you can get through your intro. DLG back with another episode where I'm talking about... You know, from a very early age, hi-fi audio was always one of those things that I naturally gravitated towards. And in hindsight, that might help to explain why I'm absolutely addicted to devices that capture audio. And for reference, throughout this recording, I'm using the Samson Q9U microphone to capture my vocals. And even though just about everything on this list is subjective to your personal taste and style, I decided to use this microphone because I think it's appropriate for the theme of this video. Plus, I really like the sound signature dynamic broadcaster microphones are known for. I mean, I haven't tried them all, but I feel like the Q9U projects in a more robust way compared to something like a shotgun or lavalier microphone. Broadcaster style mics, at least to my ears, are noticeably more resonant and fuller, almost gritty, but in a pleasant way. And you know, sound is, well, it's subjective. What one person considers exquisite, well, another may deem absolutely horrendous. 2 out of 5. The look. This may be a bit of a hot take, but in the context of E-mount APS-C camera bodies and the glass catalog available, I think good glass does more optically than the camera body. Talking about camera lenses, I see it like this. Your camera lens determines how you present yourself and your environment to your audience. Again, I'm not going to say you got to have a certain focal length or a specific aperture because it's all subjective. But for the uninitiated, if you're a solo creator, you may want to start off with a lens on the wider side, something about 16 to 24 millimeters, because working within those focal lengths allows you to be closer to your camera. And when you're first starting out and learning to be more comfortable on camera while working the 1s and the 2s, the closer you are, the easier it is to get the shot you want and need. And for reference, I'm using copies of Sigma's 30mm along with their 16mm f1.4 to get my A and B cam shots. 3 out of 5. The mood. I think this is what can make you look most presentable on camera. Talking about lighting. Lights are arguably one of the single most important and impactful things you can add to your kit to dramatically improve the overall look of your photos and video. And just like with lenses, I don't want to say you need this style of light with this amount of wattage or because of this or that. All I can say is that when it comes to lighting, if you want to look your most flattering, you want as big of a light source as your space allows. And you want that light source to be soft. So you may want to consider a light that works with a modifier. And for reference, for my key light, I use an Amaran C60X chip on board light with an Aputure Light Dome SE modifier. And in the space I'm recording, it's plenty bright and pretty soft. And as a general rule, bigger, softer light sources help to smooth out wrinkles and make shadows work for you instead of against you. Now, this is a bit of a nerdy piece of intel, but it can be important when you're looking to match light temperatures from different sources. So when you're looking to add a light to your kit, you would be wise to consider its CRI rating. And CRI stands for Color Rendering Index, and that refers to how well a light source renders color compared to a reference light source, something like sunlight or incandescent light. Now, I'm not a CRI pro by any means, but anything with a CRI rating over 95 will unquestionably look fantastic on camera and will more easily match other lights you already own or plan to add to your kit. 4 out of 5, the feel. Subjectiveness seems like it's the theme here. Because in the camera niche, it feels like these diffusion filters arguably are the definition of subjectiveness. Yeah, it feels like people either love these filters or unconditionally loathe them. Either way, black mist filters like the one I have here from K&N definitely present a noticeable amount of character and uniqueness to a shot. And maybe this is just my eyes getting older, but I also feel like black mist filters help to lightly soften that clinical sharpness that Sony's kind of known for. And pretty much all diffusion filters, just like these black mist filters, come in various strengths. The 2 filters I have here are 1/8 and 1/4. And just for reference, I'm using the 1/8 black mist mounted on the Sigma 30mm f1.4 to record this shot. 5 out of 5, the space. The more videos I make, the more conscientious I am about my recording environment. Talking about your space and your background. I feel like where you choose to record can sometimes be largely impactful in communicating your point of view or the message you plan to share in your video. I mean, I feel like my background isn't anything special. It's very much a work in progress. But I also feel like all the backgrounds I decide to shoot against in this space work as active elements that help provide a bit of context to my topics and help shape my message so it's more relatable. Like this shot. The frames on the wall chronicle my journey in photography and allow me to be surrounded by those near and dear. The fake plant, the cozy armchair, all brought in to breathe warmth into the space. And if you can notice the shelves, I use that as a docking station for charging my drones and camera batteries, as well as keeping some of the Legos I've yet to build. And I don't know why I'm like this, but I kind of like looking at some shoes more than actually wearing them. But that's just one of those ABCs of me. What can I say? But hey, if you're still watching, drop a comment below and let me know, do you think your background matches your vibe and your niche, and why? Final thoughts. To wrap things up, I would like to start off by saying I have not been sponsored by any brand or company to make this video. All thoughts and opinions are entirely my own, and I'm only talking about these products because I actually use them. I find value in them. And because when I was starting to put together my videography kit, like for real, I needed help. And if it weren't for creators like Arthur R., Camera Crisis, Marcus Pix, and that Icelandic guy, who knows where I'd be. Also, I think it's worth mentioning that if content creation is a casual hobby for you, then investing in gear like this is not necessary. But like in my case, videography was something I got into as a kid in high school. And when I graduated, I was kind of forced to give it up because back then, back in my day, the barrier to entry was far more expensive, almost unrealistic. Plus, YouTube wasn't even a thing until years after I graduated. So it's not like sharing anything you made was even a possibility. At least, not at the scale it is now. However, in 20 5, with gear being so good, more attainable and shareable than ever before, if you have any kind of insight about anything, a unique experience that people can relate to, or an ability to captivate people's attention by telling engaging stories, then there's never been a better time to pick up a camera and give it a try. I mean, what else do you have to lose? So, if you made it to this point in the video, in the comments below, consider sharing about some of the things you found that improve your photos and video. And yeah, I think that's all I got for you today. And with that, this is DLG saying kudos for clicking and checking out another episode of Show and Tell. Until next time, take care. "25 minutes. And it did not overheat."